Consumer Reports just ranked the SUVs that are basically flawless in 2026. And satisfaction number 3? Yeah, it shocked me too. One of these trucks scored so high, engineers should just quit and go home. Job's done. I'm about to show you the 6 near-perfect SUVs money can buy right now. And if your car isn't on this list, I'm sorry, but we need to talk. All right, kicking off this list, we've got a name that might surprise you, or maybe it won't, because this thing has been quietly dominating driveways everywhere. The Toyota Corolla Cross. Now, I know what you're thinking, Corolla? That's my grandma's car. And hey, respect to grandma, because she clearly knows how to pick a winner that refuses to die. See, Toyota took the most reliable nameplate in automotive history and said, what if we made it taller, gave it some ground clearance, and let it pretend it's an SUV? And honestly, it worked way better than it had any right to. Consumer Reports gave this thing a near-perfect score, and that's not by accident. It's because the Corolla Cross does something incredibly rare in the car world. It delivers exactly what it promises, with zero drama. Under the hood, you're looking at a 2-liter 4-cylinder. And yes, the hybrid version is the one you want. I'll say it right now, because that powertrain pushes fuel economy into the mid-40s in combined driving, which means you'll forget what gas stations look like. The hybrid system Toyota uses here is the same architecture they've been refining for over 25 years, since the original Prius. So this isn't experimental tech. This is battle-tested, millions of miles proven engineering that just works. And that's the magic word with Toyota, isn't it? It just works. Reliability ratings on this platform are outstanding, and the maintenance costs are some of the lowest in the entire SUV segment, which means your wallet gets to breathe for once. The interior is clean, it's straightforward, the infotainment is responsive, and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto come standard, so you're not fighting with some weird proprietary system that makes you want to throw your phone out the window. Safety tech is stacked too. Toyota Safety Sense comes loaded on every trim, with pre-collision braking, lane departure alert, adaptive cruise control, the whole suite, no upcharge. Now here's where I keep it real with you, because that's what we do on this channel. If you're buying a Corolla Cross, pay attention to a couple things. First, the base non-hybrid engine feels a little sluggish when you need to merge or pass on the highway. So if you skip the hybrid thinking you're saving money, you might regret it every time you hit an on-ramp. Second, the cargo space is decent, but it's not class-leading. So if you're the type who loads up like you're fleeing the country every weekend, measure twice before you commit. And third, some owners have reported that road noise at highway speeds is a bit more noticeable than competitors. So if you're a silence is golden kind of driver, take a long test drive on the freeway before signing anything. But honestly, for the price, the efficiency, and the peace of mind that comes with Toyota's legendary reliability, the Corolla Cross is the definition of smart money. It's not flashy, it's not trying to impress anyone at a car meet, but 5 years from now, when it's still running perfectly and your neighbor is on their 3rd trip to the dealership, you'll be the one smiling. And speaking of smiling, the next SUV on this list might actually make your jaw drop because it comes from a brand that's been on an absolute tear lately.
Now, if the Corolla Cross is the quiet kid in class who aces every test without studying, then this next one is the valedictorian who also plays varsity sports and somehow still has time to volunteer on weekends. I'm talking about the Honda CR-V, and if you've ever wondered why you see approximately 900 of these every single time you walk into a parking lot, this is why. The CR-V isn't just popular, it's earned that popularity over decades by being the SUV that does everything well and almost nothing wrong. Consumer Reports has been in love with this thing for years, and the current generation might be the best one yet. The hybrid powertrain pairs a 2-liter engine with Honda's dual motor system, and it delivers around 40 miles per gallon combined, which for a vehicle this spacious is honestly ridiculous. But here's where the CR-V separates itself from the pack: the interior space. This thing eats cargo like it's getting paid for it. The back seat is massive, the trunk is one of the biggest in the class, and when you fold those rear seats down, it turns into a small apartment. I'm only half joking. People people literally car camp in these things. The ride quality is smooth, the handling is surprisingly sharp for a family SUV, and Honda packed every trim with their full safety suite, including collision mitigation braking, road departure warning, and adaptive cruise that actually works well in traffic without making you feel like a robot is trying to kill you. Now, let me be straight with you, because that's the deal on this channel. A few things to watch for. The infotainment system looks great and the screen is responsive, but some owners say the volume knob placement takes getting used to, and the menu layout can feel a little cluttered when you're trying to do something quickly while driving. Also, if you're going for the base engine without the hybrid, know that it's adequate but nothing more. The hybrid is where the magic lives, both in power delivery and fuel savings, so stretch the budget if you can. And one more thing, the CR-V holds its value like a stubborn dog holds a bone, which is great when you sell it, but not so great when you're buying, because even used ones command a premium that can make you question reality. But at the end of the day, the Honda CR-V is on this list because it's the total package: space, efficiency, safety, reliability, and a resale value that protects your investment for years. It's the SUV equivalent of a Swiss Army knife, and honestly, who doesn't want that in their garage? Now, the next vehicle on this list is about to shift the conversation in a direction you might not expect. Okay, now this is where things get interesting, because this next SUV has no business looking this good at this price point. The Mazda CX-5 is what happens when a car company wakes up one morning and decides, you know what, we're going to build something that feels premium and charge people normal money for it. And somehow, they actually pulled it off. Seriously, sit inside a CX-5 and close your eyes for a second. The soft touch materials, the stitching on the dashboard, the way everything feels tight and intentional. You would swear you're sitting in something German that costs $15,000 more. That's the Mazda trick, and nobody else in this segment does it better. But this car isn't just a pretty face. Under the hood, you've got a naturally aspirated 2.5-liter four-cylinder that delivers smooth, responsive power. And if you go for the turbo version on the higher trims, you unlock over 250 horsepower, which transforms this thing from a refined cruiser into something that genuinely puts a grin on your face at a green light. And speaking of driving, this is the part where the CX-5 truly embarrasses the competition. Mazda engineers are obsessed with something they call Jinba Itai, which means horse and rider as one. And it sounds poetic because it is. The steering feel, the chassis balance, the way this SUV takes corners like it forgot it's supposed to be a family vehicle. Nothing else in the compact SUV class drives like this. Nothing. Consumer Reports loves it for a reason. Reliability scores are excellent, owner satisfaction is high, and the predicted depreciation curve is gentle, which means your money holds up over time. Now, here's the honest talk. The CX-5 does have a couple of trade-offs you should know about before you sign. First, there's no hybrid option, and in a world where everyone else is offering electrified powertrains, the fuel economy here sits in the high 20s to low 30s, which is fine but not exceptional. If saving at the pump is your top priority, this isn't the one. Second, the rear seat and cargo space are tighter than rivals like the CR-V we just talked about, so if you've got growing teenagers or you regularly haul a lot of gear, it might feel snug. And third, the infotainment system uses a rotary controller instead of a touchscreen while driving, and some people love it while others want to launch it into the sun. Test it yourself before you decide. But here's the bottom line with the Mazda CX-5. If driving experience and interior quality matter more than maximum space, this is the compact SUV that treats you like a driver, not just a commuter. It's proof that you don't have to spend luxury money to feel like you did. And trust me, the next one on this list takes a completely different approach that's going to make a lot of people very happy.
Alright, so we just talked about an SUV that drives like a sports car, and now we're going in a completely different direction, because this next one doesn't care about being fancy or flashy, it cares about getting you through a snowstorm on a Tuesday morning without breaking a sweat. The Subaru Forester is the SUV for people who actually use their SUV, and I mean really use it, not just park it at the mall and pretend the all-wheel drive badge makes them adventurous. Every single Forester comes standard with Subaru's legendary symmetrical all-wheel drive system, and I want you to understand what that means. You don't pay extra for it, you don't have to upgrade to a special package, it's just there on every trim from the base to the top, because Subaru looked at the rest of the industry charging thousands for AWD and said, nah, everyone gets it. And this isn't some reactive system that kicks in after you've already started sliding into a ditch and questioning your life choices. It's a full-time system that sends power to all four wheels constantly, which gives you confidence on wet roads, gravel paths, and winter conditions that would make other SUVs call in sick. But the Forester isn't just an off-road party trick. The visibility in this cabin is absolutely unmatched. The greenhouse is massive, the windows are huge, the sight lines are so good you almost feel like you're driving a glass box in the best possible way. And that matters more than people think, because good visibility means safer lane changes, easier parking, and fewer blind spot surprises that ruin your day. Consumer Reports scored it near perfect, partly because of this. The safety tech is loaded with EyeSight driver assist on every model, which includes adaptive cruise, pre-collision braking, lane centering, and it all works through cameras mounted by the rearview mirror, so there's no ugly radar bump on your front bumper. Interior space is generous too. The cargo area swallows luggage like it's nothing, and the seats are comfortable enough for long road trips without your back filing a formal complaint. Now, the real talk. The Forester's 2.5-liter boxer engine is reliable and smooth, but it is not fast. 0 to 60 happens eventually, and by eventually I mean you'll have time to think about what you want for dinner before you merge onto the highway. If quick acceleration matters to you, this will test your patience. Also, the CVT transmission does its job efficiently, but it can sound a little strained when you push it hard, which some drivers find annoying on long uphill climbs. And one more thing. The interior materials, while improved in recent years, still don't match the premium feel of something like the Mazda we just covered. So if luxury touches are high on your list, manage your expectations. But look, the Subaru Forester exists for a reason, and that reason is simple. It's tough, it's safe, it's practical, and it will take you places other compact SUVs won't even attempt. There's a reason Forester owners are some of the most loyal buyers in the entire industry, and once you own one, you'll understand why. Now hold on tight, because the next SUV on this list just raised the bar in a way that honestly caught me off guard.
Okay, I already know what's happening in the comments right now. Mitsubishi on a near-perfect list. Did Consumer Reports lose their minds? And honestly, I get it, because Mitsubishi has been the quiet kid at the back of the automotive classroom for so long that most people forgot they were even there. But that's exactly what makes this pick so fascinating, because while everyone was busy arguing about Toyotas and Hondas, Mitsubishi walked in with the Eclipse Cross and quietly built one of the best value propositions in the entire SUV market. And yes, I said Eclipse Cross, not the old Eclipse sports car that your cool uncle used to drift around parking lots in the 90s. That legend is gone, rest in peace, but the name lives on in a very different body. The current Eclipse Cross is sharp-looking, genuinely stylish with that aggressive front fascia and those sculpted body lines that give it way more road presence than you'd expect from a brand that most people sleep on. Under the hood sits a 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that delivers punchy, responsive power for daily driving, and paired with Mitsubishi's CVT, it keeps fuel economy competitive in the low 30s, which is solid for what you're getting. But here's where this thing really starts to make sense: the warranty. Mitsubishi backs the Eclipse Cross with one of the longest powertrain warranties in the business at 10 years or 100,000 miles. And that's not marketing fluff. That's a company literally putting their money where their mouth is and telling you, we believe this engine will last. That kind of coverage gives you a safety net that most competitors simply don't offer. And for first-time buyers or anyone who keeps their vehicles long-term, that peace of mind is worth its weight in gold. The available Super all-wheel control system is also impressive. It's derived from Mitsubishi's Rally heritage, the same brand that dominated the Dakar Rally Championship and World Rally Championship stages. So when they say they know AWD, they're not bluffing. The interior got a significant upgrade in recent model years, with a cleaner dashboard layout, a larger touchscreen with smartphone integration, and better material quality that finally feels like it belongs in the modern era. Safety features come well equipped too, with forward collision mitigation, lane departure warning, and automatic high beams across the lineup. Now, the honest truth you need to hear. The Eclipse Cross doesn't have the interior refinement or driving dynamics of the Mazda CX-5, and it won't give you the cargo space of a CR-V. It lives in a slightly smaller footprint, so rear passengers with longer legs might feel it on extended trips. The engine, while adequate and peppy around town, can feel a bit breathless on highway overtakes when fully loaded, so don't expect thrilling performance when you've got 4 adults and luggage on board. And resale value, while improving, still doesn't match the Japanese big three of Toyota, Honda, and Mazda, so if flipping your car in 3 years is part of your plan, factor that in. But here's the thing. For the price of entry, the warranty coverage, and the overall package, the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross is the underdog that deserves way more attention than it gets. Sometimes the best deals in life are the ones nobody's talking about. And speaking of things worth talking about, the last SUV on this list is the one I've been saving because it absolutely earned its spot at the top.
Alright, we've saved the last spot on this list for a vehicle that honestly deserves a standing ovation because it pulled off something that very few people saw coming: the Chevrolet Equinox. And before you say, wait, a Chevy on a Consumer Reports near-perfect list? Yes, you read that right. And no, your screen isn't broken. This is the same brand that people love to roast in comment sections, the same brand that became a meme about reliability, and yet here we are, because the new generation Equinox showed up to the party and absolutely silenced the haters. Chevy went back to the drawing board with this one, and the result is stunning. The exterior design is clean, modern, and honestly looks like something that costs 10 grand more than it actually does. It's giving premium energy on a mainstream budget, and that combo is dangerous for the competition. The new Equinox rides on a completely updated platform that transformed the driving experience from, yeah, it's okay, I guess, to, wait, this is actually really nice. The 1.5-liter turbocharged engine is responsive and pairs well with a smooth shifting transmission that doesn't hunt for gears like it's lost in the woods. Fuel economy lands in the low 30s, which keeps you competitive with the rest of this list, and the ride quality strikes that perfect balance between comfortable and composed, where you don't feel every pebble on the road, but you also don't feel like you're floating on a waterbed. The interior is where Chevy really went for the knockout punch, though. A massive 11-inch diagonal infotainment screen dominates the dashboard. The interface is fast and intuitive, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto come standard, and the overall cabin layout feels airy and modern in a way that previous Equinox models never even came close to achieving. It's like Chevy finally hired someone who actually drives their own cars and said, fix it. Safety tech is loaded, with Chevy Safety Assist standard across the lineup, including automatic emergency braking, front pedestrian braking, lane keep assist, and following distance indicator, so you're covered without raiding the options list. Now here's what you need to watch for, because I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't tell you. The base engine does a great job for normal driving, but if you regularly load up with passengers and cargo for mountain road trips, you'll notice it working hard on steep inclines. It's not underpowered, but it's not overpowered either. It's right in that middle zone. Also, Chevrolet's long-term reliability track record hasn't historically matched the Japanese brands on this list. So while this new generation looks incredibly promising and early data is strong, it doesn't have 20 years of proven history behind it yet. You're betting on the new Chevy being a different Chevy, and so far that bet looks good, but it's still early. And lastly, some trims can get pricey quickly once you start adding packages, so configure carefully online before walking into the dealer, or you might leave with a payment that surprises you more than this car being on the list. But all things considered, the Chevrolet Equinox earned this spot because it represents something rare in the car industry, a genuine transformation. This isn't a minor refresh or a marketing spin. This is a company that listened to the criticism, went to work, and delivered a product that stands shoulder to shoulder with the best in the segment. And that, my friends, is the complete list. 6 near-perfect SUVs according to Consumer Reports in 2026, from the bulletproof reliability of Toyota and Honda to the driving soul of Mazda, the rugged honesty of Subaru, the underdog brilliance of Mitsubishi, and the redemption arc of Chevrolet. Now I want to hear from you. Which one would you put in your driveway? Drop it in the comments, start a war down there, I'll be watching and replying. If this video helped you get closer to your next car decision, smash that like button because it genuinely helps the channel reach more people who are trying to make smart choices with their money. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you even doing? Hit subscribe, turn on the bell because we've got more videos like this coming every single week, and I promise you, you don't want to miss what's next. I'll see you in the next one.